Happy Thursday. Welcome. I wanted to make sure it was actually like that I was live because I'm having problems with my reception right now. There's a storm outside. So, anyways, I wanted to thank everyone for joining me for Oil Topic Thursday, episode 12. Today is a very complex topic that a lot of people have been messaging me throughout the years in regards to. So what I decided to do is each week I'm going to touch base on a specific topic and go over specific oils that can help them support whatever that topic is. Now, first of all, I do want to let you know that addiction is a very, very serious matter, and essential oils do not treat them, they do not prevent them, and they do not cure any type of addiction. It's important that you do see a medical practitioner and know what your wellness benefits are. I know we just got this in the mail, our team care through UPS, and I always try to take a look at my medical benefits just to know ahead of time what is covered and what is not, because you should always be aware of what your benefits are. Essential oils are extremely amazing for supporting whatever that particular ailment is. In this case, it would be your limbic system. It's important to know too that using plant-based medicine, it's very, very simple. And all you have to do is, I like to use my Advanced Oil Magic book. And it's very simple to use. I basically just look up the ailment and I try one or a few oils from the suggested list. And then I decide what works best for my body. Everyone is different. Each ailment includes the primary oils and supplements that are beneficial for ailments. But not all essential oils are created equally. doTERRA essential oils are certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils, which means basically that there are no fillers, there's no synthetic ingredients, and they're not adulterated. So you can be sure that they are coming from a terrain or an original soil that really does matter. We partner with 40 different countries, and they harvest these oils for us, which in turn, every oil has special constituents which provide varying level of therapeutic blends and benefits. So doTERRA is actually responsible for searching the entire world for trusted alliances with honest growers and distillers. And this is very, very important, especially when you're using essential oils to support an ailment that is so important, such as addiction. And now there are all levels of addiction, and there's different types of addiction. So I'm not going to really touch base on one particular one. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my book, my magic oil book, and I'm going to turn to the addiction recovery, and I'm going to go over some of the oils. And what I'm going to do is I'm not only going to go over those oils, but I'm going to look up that particular oil and kind of go over some of the additional benefits for that particular oil. So, all right, let's get started. For addiction recovery, regain the satisfaction of being in control of your desire, cravings, and where you derive satisfaction in life with this protocol. The protocol benefits: helps curb cravings, uses activity as a healthy distraction, and fortifies self-concept. Now, for like a craving control, you could use black pepper. Black pepper, they say that you rub a drop on bottoms of feet, especially big toes, morning and night. I'm going to look up black pepper, and this is going to tell me a lot about this particular oil. And let's see here. I'm going to look up black pepper. All right, for black pepper, the top uses, and this is where it's going to get into naming particular ailments. And just so you know, I do like to remain compliant. However, I had to close my group, which means that you can still invite anyone that you want to the group. It's still considered a public group officially, but I closed it because the FDA does not regulate essential oils, and they do not like the fact that even doTERRA is even around, because they know that these are certified pure therapeutic grade oils and they're actually working. So they don't like that. They don't want to they don't want people to reach for holistic ways to be proactive with their body. So with that being said, I did close the group so that I would be able to use my magic oil book and be able to actually talk about specific ailments, because I feel like it's important for people to know exactly what I'm referring to. So for this one, black pepper, it says to quit smoking, apply to bottoms of feet, big toes several times a day to curb cravings. It also mentions, let's see here, it's great also for emotional repression. And it says, let's see, it can, it says squiterpenes like carfilene make black pepper a soothing oil that can unmask repressed emotions. So this is an oil that you could use, let's see, here's a topical smoking stopper. 1 drop of black pepper, 1 drop of clove, and 5 drops of fractionated coconut oil. Combine ingredients and use a drop under the tongue to help with cravings and anxiousness. Be prepared for a numbing sensation from the clove. This oil actually has clove essential oil in it. All right. So that is one way that you can actually use our black pepper, and that would be for an addiction to smoking. All right, so we're going to move on to the next oil. I'm going to go right back to the addiction page that I had, because it's really cool. You can actually look up, they have different sections, and this particular section that I'm going to is in lifestyle. All right, okay, so grapefruit. Now, grapefruit is another amazing oil that I like to use as a hydrating oil. I like to add it to my water because you should be drinking about half of your weight in ounces in water. But grapefruit is a great one that you can drink 4 to 8 drops in a glass or stainless steel water bottle throughout the day. And I'm going to look up grapefruit and see exactly what this particular oil and how it actually plays in addiction. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, for weight loss. So this would be addiction to maybe food. It also could be smoking addiction. It's an appetite suppressant. So for weight loss, apply 10 drops diluted with carrier oil over cellulite and fatty areas. For smoking addiction, 1 to 3 drops in water after meals. And let's see here. Other uses, anorexia, bulimia. Let's see. It says even hangovers, which is crazy. Miscarriage recovery. Let's see. Obesity and overeating. All right. Monterpernines like limonene make grapefruit an uplifting oil to lift one out of body shame and onto honoring the body. So, also a spirit lifting blend. 15 drops of grapefruit, 15 drops of bergamot, 15 drops of grapefruit. Why do they have grapefruit in here twice? This is crazy. They actually have an error in this book. All right, so anyways, 10 drops of wild orange and 8 drops of frankincense. Combine oils in a 16-ounce spray bottle with water used to brighten a room or as a perfume. It's a great thing, too, because you can actually use essential oils in 3 different ways. You can use them aromatically, just by, putting the oil just as so, making maybe 1 or 2 drops into your hand, rubbing your hands together, and breathing very deeply. taking 3 huge belly breaths. That is a great way to use it aromatically. It's also great to put in a diffuser when you're using a water-based diffuser. I usually just maybe like 4 or 5 drops, and you can diffuse it. It's also great to use topically, just as stated in the grapefruit section in the Magic Oils book. And then there are a lot of oils that you can actually use internally. Now, the way that you can decipher which ones are safe to use internally is there will be a supplemental fact on the top of on the side of the bottle. If you do not see that, then it is not safe to use internally. All right, so let's get back to addiction recovery. All right, now the cleansing blend. The cleansing blend is one of my favorite oils. I actually like to use this oil just because I tend to have negative thought patterns that pop up from nowhere. And this is an oil that actually, and that's considered an addiction. If you're addicted to self-blaming or self-shaming or just any kind of negative thought patterns, this is a great oil to actually use. And what it does is when I diffuse it, it not only cleanses the air, but it also cleanses my mind and all those negative thought patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look up Purify the Cleansing Blend. And what I usually do is when I diffuse it, I diffuse about 4 to 6 drops in a diffuser, a water-based diffuser. All right, so let me look up. And this is a oil blend. So I'm going to find this under Cleansing Blend. All right, let's see here. The Cleansing Blend. All right, let's see here. The purifying effects of this blend assist in releasing trapped unhealthy emotions. It can clear negative energy from a room so that goodness can be noticed and felt. So when you're actually detoxing, this is an oil that can really, really help you cleanse your mind. Because a lot of times when you are dealing with addictions, a lot of it is mind patterns. And unfortunately, until you break that pattern, anything that you use from a medical practitioner or even as an essential oil really isn't going to do much of a difference or make much of a difference unless you're clearing those thought patterns. So this would be a great oil to actually use while you are in the recovery process of an addiction. All right, they give you here a no energy vampire diffuser blend. 4 drops of cleansing blend, 2 drops of tea tree oil, which is our Melaleuca, and 1 drop of Melissa. Use this diffuser blend to help clear unwanted energy and negative emotions from your space. This is a great, great blend as well if you move into a new home, and instead of that saging that people had talked about, this would be a great way, a holistic way, and a non-toxic way to just kind of get all that negative energy out of the new home, and then get some positive energy back in. So that is a great blend to use for recovery addiction. Now the next one, and they say to use these protocols for up to 8 weeks, then reevaluate to determine if you'll continue or move on to another lifestyle protocol. And what that means is when you use a specific essential oil, I'm going to read something too that is really, really important, and it was a lot to actually remember, so that's why I didn't even bother. All right, let me see how they work. I know it was right here. Let's see. I'm looking up and let's see. Oh, how to know which oils to use on hand. Let me see. I know I read this. And basically it was just going over the fact that, oh, I know. It was in the front of this. All right. It was in the front of this book. Oh, okay. All right, so every solution listed here is only a recommendation. You may learn of other oils that help with your ailment as well. Remember that trying essential oils is the same process as trying any remedy. You may go through a few oils or combination of oils before you find what your body responds best to. Many of the ailments listed reference a protocol found later in the book. Now, basically what that is saying is that, let's say you went to the doctor for a specific ailment and that doctor gave you a medication. All right. Now, I'm not comparing oils to medication. It's just an example. And that particular medication did not work for you. Okay, for whatever means. It may be something, in your body that's not reacting to it. It also may be the fact that you are diagnosing yourself without getting any type of confirmation from a medical practitioner, and you might be using the wrong oil because you're diagnosing the wrong, you've come up with the wrong diagnosis because you've done it on your own. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that what you're using the oil is for is actually confirmed with a medical practitioner. And that's only when you're referring to a serious ailment. Now, if it's something emotionally, obviously you know what your emotions are. But let's say you go to the doctor, you get a medication, you try that medication, it doesn't work for you. You're not going to say to the doctor, well, this didn't work for me, so I'm just done. No, you're going to ask for a different medication, and you're going to continue to try each one until you find the one that works for you. It's the same thing with essential oils. You're going to find ones that work better for you than others. I can tell you that for me, every single protocol that I've ever tried has worked for me, and I'll tell you why. Because I have a very, very strong foundation, the long life vitality. This actually, what it does is it gives you a strong foundation, and everything starts and ends with your gut. And once you actually have a healthy gut, essential oils tend to work better and you have better results. And the long life vitality benefits are general wellness and vitality. They're an antioxidant and DNA protection. They are energy metabolism. They're great for bone health, immune function, stress management, because that's one thing that I will say, that when you are in recovery, your stress levels are extremely high. And a lot of times, if it's, let's say it's an addiction that isn't an addiction that your body is addicted to it, let's say it's something your mind over matter type thing, then this would be something that would help you as well. Okay, healthy hair, skin, and nails, cardiovascular health, eye, brain, nervous system, liver function and digestive health, lung and respiratory health, and they are gentle on the stomach. Does not contain genetically modified material, and they're dairy free. So these are a great thing to actually get on, especially when you are wanting to start with a healthy foundation. And when it comes to addiction, that is the foundation. The foundation would be, you want to start from the root of the problem. When you just use an oil to mask an ailment, 9 times out of 10, it'll work for a little while, and then you're back to where you started. So it's a great idea just to start at the foundation, and then that way when you're using specific oils for whatever ailment it may be, you're going to probably get the best results. All right, so let's go back to recovery. And let's see here. And if you're on, say hi to me and let me know that you're actually watching, because I'm doing my live from my iPhone. For whatever reason, it doesn't work with my computer. I've tried. And so I use my phone, but unfortunately, a lot of times on my phone, it doesn't show me when someone's on, or so I always ask that you comment. All right, let's see. It also mentions that during recovery, your confidence level is going to be, how should I say this? Basically, basically during this time of recovery, a lot of times your confidence is lowered, your self-esteem is lowered. So there are like regimens that you can actually take that will reflect your confidence, and one of them is using our centering blend. Now our centering blend is part of our yoga collection, and it is called Align. This is a great oil just to use, just to kind of bring you back to your center. I don't just use this for yoga. I use it for a lot of different elements as well. But you can rub a drop over your heart during time of weakness. You can also use it for visualizing. Visualize yourself whole and complete while using the centering blend each day. I actually have made a roller, and what I've done is I put it in a little roller ball just like this, and I put a sticker that says Align on it, and I just kind of like to use this just like this because I always recommend using it. Any type of essential oil, I like to dilute it with a fractionated coconut oil, just so that I don't ever build up a sensitivity to it. So it's something that you can just kind of rub over your heart. Very, very easy. Carry it in your purse. Anytime that you feel that kind of like weakness coming on is a great time to use your centering blend. Now, another thing is that during this time, you actually can become even more overwhelmed. And they say that when you become overwhelmed is usually when the weakness gets to you, and that's where the addiction plays in. And a lot of times someone could go, and they're in recovery their entire life, which means that they take one day at a time. And one way that you can eliminate that overwhelmment is by using essential oils. One of the ways that I like to do it is I like to use tea tree oil. And I do a system. And what I usually do is I use tea tree oil, oregano, and cypress. And bear with me, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. What I do is I take my Melaleuca. I have it in a spray bottle because I actually clean my brush with this as well, my wooden paddle brush. So what you do is you take your Melaleuca tea tree oil, and you're going to put it over the back of the neck, your throat, heart, and around your belly button. And what this does is it cleanses attachments that do not serve us. Sometimes we involve ourselves with people, circumstances, commitments, etc. that are not healthy and create overwhelm. This application will begin the process of letting go of unhealthy attachments. So what you want to do is you want to use your Melaleuca first, and use it on the back of your neck, your throat, over your heart, around the belly button. Also, you can take oregano, and I like to use the Oregano Touch. doTERRA actually has a lot of their essential oils that are pre-diluted, and they have them in touch forms to make it very, very easy for you. It's great because you can just grab and go, and you don't have to worry about the dilution process or the dilution ratio, which is very simple, but for new users especially, it can be a little intimidating. So even for me, I like to buy these just because it saves time and it's easy to just grab and go. So what you would do is you take your oregano, and just on the top of your head at the base of your skull, you would just roll it right on the base of your skull. And you always want to make sure too with oregano, because it is a hot oil, this is an oil that you always want to make sure that you have it pre-diluted, just because it can burn the skin if you use it neat and you apply too much. So this would be a great way just to put on the top of your head. And what it does is it helps one to step outside oneself to get perspective and see what needs to change. Creates an open mind and flexibility to make necessary changes for personal growth. So that is what that does. And then lastly, cypress oil. Cypress oil is probably one of my favorite oils that I like to use for skincare, but it's also a great oil that can help you move like any stagnation. So like for instance, when you're recovering from addiction, again, this is going to go back to that. You're powerfully moving all stagnation. So what you do is on the inside crease of your elbows, all you're going to do is you're going to take your cypress oil, flip it upside down so you get a little bit on your finger, and just put it on the inside creases of your elbows. All right, and what this does is it powerfully moves all stagnation, especially those who are stuck in old ways of thinking and being. Wonderful for those who constantly feel they are fighting life rather than living in the flow, and it creates fluidity of the spirit. So these 3 ways are, even if these are the only 3 things that you use during recovery, I guarantee that you're going to see some amazing growth results within. There's also other ways that you can actually use essential oils, but if you use like an active distraction, like daily physical activity, like walking, running, anything that's going to keep producing endorphins. Also, another thing too is our energy and stamina complex. You take two capsules 30 minutes before physical activity. So this will actually give you that energy that you need to continue on with the physical activity. Because a lot of times when you are suffering and you're trying to deal with addiction recovery, your stamina is going to be very, very low. Your energy is going to be very low. That is why a lot of people that are suffering from any type of addiction go into a state of depression. Just their energy levels are low. They're not feeling well. They're just not feeling themselves. And this would be a great way to help with that. Also, the Respiratory Blend. The Respiratory Blend is one of my favorite oils to use at night. I like to use this for a couple different things. One is during grief. A lot of times when you're suffering for grief, and we all have been there, I'm still like, it's a one day at a time. Every day I wake up and I feel good, and then there may be a trigger throughout the day that actually reminds me of, some things that I don't want to remember. But at the same time, I want to honor the people that I love that I've lost their lives. So it's important that I try to live my life the best way that I can to honor their life. So one of the ways that I do that is by using our Respiratory Blend Breathe. Breathe is great to diffuse, because a lot of times when you're suffering from grief, you have this very, very heavy emotion. It almost feels like your chest is extremely heavy, and nothing helps like remove that. This is a great way because it actually opens up your airways, and it supports a healthy respiratory system. And what it does is it literally, you can feel it when you're diffusing it. You can feel it kind of like move that heaviness out from underneath your chest. So that's a great way to use it as well. You can also rub 2 drops on the chest before and during physical activity. Now I'm going to look up this blend as well, and it's also in oil blends. So I'm going to look up Respiratory Blend. And for those of you that are members and you're not really sure what these blends are, each and every one of you have received in your welcome kit, you received a bookmark, and it literally tells you the oil blends and what their names are. Like, for instance, Massage Blend is Aroma Touch, Centering is Align. So you can refer back to this as well. I like to give this away because I give every one of my members a way to earn the Magic Oil Book. And when they enroll, and in the very first month, and they also enroll in the Loyalty Rewards Program. And what the Loyalty Rewards Program is, basically they have a way to earn between 10 to 30% back in points each and every month for their orders that they actually process between the 1st and the 15th of the month. And they're able to also order or also earn a free oil of the month. But when they enroll the first month, and then for 3 consecutive months when they have a 100 PV order, they actually can earn the Magic Oil Book from me for free. And this way they can actually look up ailments on their own and just follow the protocol. It's that easy. Basically what it does is you look up the ailment, it tells you which oils to use, how long to use them, and then it gives you other oils that you can actually try as well. So this is a really, really good... Hi, Tracy. my BFF. All right, let's get back to the Breathe blend. We're going to go into the Respiratory Blend and just kind of learn a little bit about this. I obviously know a lot about this oil, but I want to tell you some of the oils that are in the Breathe blend. There's laurel, and guess what? Laurel leaf is an oil that you cannot normally get. And right now, and this is the last day, when you are enrolled in the loyalty rewards program and you submit an order between the 1st and the 15th of the month, and the order is $125 product value, you are able to get the free oil of the month. And this month it happens to be laurel leaf, which is like amazing, honestly. If you like Breathe, this ups the ante. I've actually used them together too. So what I've done is I've used like 3 drops of the Breathe and 1 drop of the laurel, just to save my laurel, because I know it's not available. But laurel is actually inside of the Respiratory Blend. It also has eucalyptus, peppermint, melaleuca, which is the tea tree oil, lemon, cardamom, and there's 2 Ravinsera and Ravinsera. I don't even know what those are, but they're constricting, breathing, emphysema, exercise-induced asthma, sinusitis. But it's great also for, I'm going to look for closed off from love. Rub a few drops over the heart. Now, this is what I was talking about. Rather than being suffocated by sadness or other constricting emotions, this blend helps one excel that which no longer serves, and inhale the support and embrace to make life rich. So that is where this actually comes into play when we're talking about addiction. All right, so those are the oils that I had to share for addiction. I'm hoping that that was helpful. If at any point that you feel that you need someone to talk to, it's a great thing to just kind of reach out. There are so many different avenues, especially if you are suffering from addiction. I know locally there are a lot of programs that are out there, and I know this specifically because this has touched home with, not only my immediate family, but also my in-laws. So there are resources that you can use. I also recommend, again, getting your information and knowing what your wellness benefits are. So that way, when you do need to go and get any type of, therapy, along with using essential oils to help with your recovery, you're able to do so, and you know exactly what your coverage is. All right, so there's a couple things that I want to go over because I do have a lot of my members that like to watch these. And first of all, I always like to do an LRP love. And what that is it's someone that actually is a member of mine on the Loyalty Rewards program. And in the first and the second week, when they submit an order of 100 product value or more, they go into a basket. Their name goes into a basket, and I pull out their name, and they can earn a free product. It's just a way for me to thank them for their loyalty and for being a member, for watching my videos, and just kind of, actually allowing me to be their essential oil educator and letting me help them and being more proactive with their wellness goals. So the winner for today, and she is actually going to win I'm making her a 5 ml of the alignment, the overwhelmment roller that we were just referring to, because another easy way too is you can take these 3 oils and you can blend them together and put them in a roller ball, and then add fractionated coconut oil, and then you can just use it anywhere that you want. It just makes it easier if you're on the go. So she's going to win an aligned roller, and the winner is Jennifer Birch. Jennifer is actually a really new member. She actually, I met her on my last cruise. So we had nighttime dining, and her husband is in the military, and great people. But we got to know them over, I love military people anyways. It doesn't matter, just because I have just so much respect, especially for you, girlfriend, my friend Tracy. Tracy is my best friend from Michigan. We've been best friends since high school, and she actually retired the highest level that you can be in the Army, and she has I have so much respect for her, but she's also fun too. So anyways, thank you, Tracy, and all of you. I know there was a couple people that were watching earlier that aren't showing up now, but thank you to anyone that has actually dedicated their lives to serving this country, because it's just not easy, and there's a lot of things that they have to deal with when they're out, when they actually retire, or some of them have to retire early for medical reasons or emotional reasons. So it's also great that they can use essential oils to help with that as well. All right, so a couple things that I want to go over with my team is let's see. The next event that I'm doing is I'm doing a holistic healing expo at the World Golf Rensen in St. Augustine, and I'm going to be there promoting the Healing Hands partnership with OUR, which is it's Operation Underground, and what it is we're bringing awareness to human trafficking. It's something that doTERRA works with. The Healing Hands, there's like 3 programs that they like to work with, and one of them is with OUR. The second one is a program that is for trying to think of how to word it. Believe it or not, there's actually other regions in other countries that it's taboo for women during their menstrual periods, and we're actually helping them to untaboo it and to bring resources to them, because a lot of times when the women are menstruating, they have to leave their home, and they all go into this one place at the same time, and until they're done menstruating, they have to stay there, and it's very taboo. So that's one of the things that we like to work with. And also we're doing something at convention this year for babies. And what it is basically with OUR, not only are we bringing awareness to the human trafficking, but once these people are rescued, a lot of them, have nowhere to go. Or some of them do have somewhere to go, but they just don't have the resources emotionally to deal with the trauma that they actually face. And not only that, but we also get them back into the working world and feeling good about themselves inside and out. So that's something that I'm bringing awareness to on Saturday, August 24th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We also have our safety and precautions class. It's an online course. It's all my new people. This is part 2. I always have you do. I have my oils now what. That's the first class. And then this is part 2, which is safety and precautions. These classes do not take precedence over having a membership over you. I used to let them, and now I do both with that member, just so I know that they're having 100% of the support. And then always they have this public education group where they can watch the videos. And then we also have a VIP group, which is just for members only. And they're only for active members. And basically they can go into there, and there's lots of giveaways, and there's, posts and things like that. And a lot of one-on-one type things in there that are not in the public education group. Also, I wanted to mention Cedarwood. Again, Cedarwood is 10% off. I know I did a video with how I use it in my skincare regimen. So you can scroll down and look at that. And then also the laurel leaf is today only. You can get this for free by submitting if you have not already, your loyalty reward order for 125 PV. So It takes courage to grow and be who we really are. This is one of my favorite quotes from E. Cummings, and that's basically what recovery is all about, is just kind of getting back to yourself and learning to be comfortable with who you are. And a lot of us are going through a lot of things that we don't even want other people to know, and this is a great way to be able to use essential oils and let them help support your recovery. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next Thursday, and I believe that topic is going to be allergies. So see you next Thursday at 2 p.m. Have a good one, everyone.